Hey family, what's up? Welcome to the Hub. I'm Coach Cass. So on today's show, I have Marian, who is from Kissimmee, Florida. She's a doctor, y'all. She's 50 and ready to flirt and a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Welcome.
Thank you.
Hey, girl.
Hey,
How you doing?
I'm good.
You're
We're
good?
just trying to get ready for this little storm here, but I think we're going to be fine.
You're going to be fine. So, all right, Marian, tell us, what has been your love journey thus far?
Well, my love journey so far has included a 16-year marriage that ended amicably enough, 3 adult kids, a career that started out as being a teacher, and then I switched over to medicine with my youngest child being a 2-year-old. Like, who does that? But I did. And they're all like adults now, college graduates, and it's kind of time for me to find that part of me that says, hey, you are still a woman, especially being an obstetrician gynecologist. These are the things that I deal with on a daily basis, taking care of moms and their babies, and, some of the other relationship things that come along with that. So it's kind of time for me to take care of me. I've gotten 50 years out of the way, and I got 50 more, hopefully. So I need to split that up with somebody.
It's time to get back out there, as they say. Oh, snap.
Exactly.
So, okay. All right. Single, ready to mingle. So what is your question, Marian? What brings you here today?
So I think what brings me to you is not just attracting what you want, but making sure that that person isn't intimidated by all the things that I've been having to do while I was waiting to meet him. Because a lot of times as Black women, we have to be strong. We have to do this. And I don't want to say strong is in a negative term. It's just, we have to get things done. Like, I've had guys to say, oh, you look like you don't need a man. Well, I don't want to look all broke down. So I still have to fix my car. I still have to get the grass cut. I still have to clean the house. Like, I still have to walk my dog. Like, all these things still have to take place. But it would be really nice to share the rest of your time with someone. And I find that some men are just kind of, she's a doctor and, she's got it all together and she drives this kind of car and, and they're okay with it probably for the first month. And I'll ask, I've even tried the approach of asking up front. I'm like, how do you feel about a woman who, may be the top earner in the house or whatever? And they're like, oh, no, it's no problem. And inevitably there'll be a situation where they'll say something like, oh, you think you're so smart? Well, I guess that's how you felt the whole time, but I am kind of smart. So yeah. But that's how it ends up. It ends up kind of turning that direction. And I think it takes time for them to really unveil their own concerns. I don't want to use the term insecurities. It's just their own concerns probably don't surface if they've never been in a situation before. It's kind of like, oh yeah, I think I like jet skiing only because you've been swimming before. Jet skiing is a whole nother game. You get out there, you be like, nah, that's okay. I'm in the middle of the jet ski and I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. So yeah, that's kind of my situation is, people all the time, they're like, you're such a great spirit. You're a good person. You're attractive. You seem to have it all together. And then, I will attract someone and we'll hang out and we'll do things. And then eventually it turns out that they're not as comfortable with a woman who, is a 6-figure earner.
All right. So I have a couple of pushback questions for you. In terms of the men that you're specifically thinking of right now that have been intimidated by you, at any point in your interactions or in dating those men, did you feel better than them?
I'm sorry?
Did you feel better than them? Like any of the guys that you're thinking of right now in that process of dating them, did you ever have the thought of like,
no, and I'm trying to analyze myself on that level too. I said, is there something that I'm giving off like subliminally or unconsciously? And I know you introduced me as being from Kissimmee. That's where I live now.
Okay.
But I'm from Mississippi. So I'm a Southern girl. I'm from below the Mason-Dixon line.
Yes.
And we take care of our men below the Mason-Dixon line.
Okay.
So,
you take care of your men below the, okay.
You saw how I did that, but oh well.
I see that.
Yeah. So I was raised to, I love to cook. I fix the plates. I want to, take care of the house. Like I have to be in charge at work when they start saying, doctor, like I have to be in charge at work. But home is where I want to just express myself as a woman. So that I think that may not necessarily confuse them, but I think they may have a preconceived notion, because most of the time if I get introduced to a guy, it's like, hey, I know this doctor. Not, hey, I know this cool chocolate lady from Mississippi. Like It's a little bit different. Yeah. So their preconceptions, I think they hold on to. My father, my uncles, all of them, my cousins, they're all, blue collar guys. And that's what I'm attracted to, is the blue collar guys.
Okay.
But they seem to have a little bit of when it comes to the girl from Mississippi. So
let's go back to the specific guy that you were talking about, right? That interaction. So you asked if having someone that earns more money bothers him. That was early in your interaction. And he said, no problem. So when did you see that it became a problem?
It became a problem when we went on a little vacation. We went on a little trip. And this will tell you how long it was ago, because it was Jazz in the Gardens. So like several years ago, we went, and I said, and I try to make sure that I'm being sensitive or aware of the differences in our finances. But I don't want a man to feel like he can't contribute. Like, no, that's not the point. So I said, hey, why don't you, I'll do our food and stuff if you pay for our room. And and the tickets. And he was like, oh, okay, that's cool or whatever. And so he said, I can't really find a place. So why don't you find a place to stay and I'll pay for it. That's okay, fine. So it just so happens that the Trump had rooms, which is where Earth, Wind, and Fire was staying. So I was like, yeah, we're going to see if we can stay there. So it was like, he told me what his budget was. And I said, okay, well, this is like $20 more a night than the budget for you. I said, is it okay if I tack that on just so we can have the rest of the experience? And he was like, yeah, okay, I guess so, no problem. So we're there. We seem to be having a good time. But inevitably at the concert, he's almost ignoring me, talking to other women in our row. I mean, it got to where I was like ready to drive off in my car and leave him in Miami. It was ugly. So I could only assume, I'm like, okay, well, something about this made him uncomfortable or feel like he could take advantage almost. So, that didn't fare very, very much longer after that.
Did you have a conversation about it?
Oh yes, we did during the concert and everything. Yeah. And he was even walking off ahead of me, and I'm like, wow, I don't even feel like I got a dude here with me. Yeah, it was very, it was a really stark difference in his attitude. So I'm not sure what was going on in his head, but it definitely changed.
Did he ever say?
No, he never really said. He just started acting as if he just started acting as if something was a big issue. And that's the only thing that I can really conclude. I'm like, is it because we're staying at a really nice hotel? We got Earth, Wind, and Fire. Like, we're trying to have, it's almost like he was trying to sabotage the weekend, no matter how much was already put into the planning for it.
How long were you guys dating before that?
At that time, probably about 4 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Because that was March. Yeah, that was March. So yeah, probably about 4 months, because that started around Christmas time.
So I would say, just from what you've shared with me, I don't know if it was really you paying the difference, because people have their own stuff, that they deal with. And there's some folks that sabotage their relationships all the time, subconsciously or on purpose, right? And so I'm not sure, especially if you explained it in the way that you did, because we want partnership.
Yeah.
You want to be with someone who's a partner. And when I don't have it, you got it. When you got it, I don't have it. And we come together. So to me, that was God, the universe, all the things that saying, you know what, this guy is not the guy.
No, he was not the guy.
It just might be around choosing versus intimidation, because if that was really the only time and you guys even had a conversation about it, that doesn't sound like intimidation to me. It's easy to blame it on that because of the news and
the situation
and the situation, but when you take another look at it, I feel like that was just on him. And because what you're sharing shows that you were totally transparent, and you were also looking for the cues to say, okay, well,
maybe
how do you feel about
I
this?
shouldn't pursue this.
Like, how do you feel about this? And if you don't,
before we go to the next step,
we can stay somewhere else, because then that also is a true man that will share, like, no, I want to take care of everything, and I want this in this budget. Okay, so then we'll stay at the Doral Country Club, right? So very simple, a little bit longer drive, but we'll make it happen. So just to reframe, now going to the next person or connecting with the next person, I would say don't even bring that up. And the reason I say this is because sometimes we make things an issue that aren't an issue, right? So do you have a problem that I might make more money? Like, instead, just make your money, right? Now it's so important that he still feels like a man in your situation. You shared, hey, I know how to do that, right? So I think it's important that you're like, what's important to you? It's more of getting to know what's important to the person. What do you love? What do you like to do? How do you feel about these things? And then as you go along, you could share like, hey, I noticed you've been paying for everything. Can I get this date? So instead of, hey, just to let you know, I make 6 figures. You cool?
No, I don't put it out like that.
Okay.
It's just that they know I'm a doctor. Like that's the part. I don't really share that it's I don't really share what it is. No.
Yeah. So the fact that they're going on the date with you is good, right? So you're a doctor, I'm a mechanic. Okay, cool. Most relationships is not the same skew, right? So, so we're hanging out, we're going out. So being able to just be able to be your fun self and not even worry about the money. And if you can't do the fancy right now because their money's limited, okay, cool.
Exactly. It's fine.
So I would say to stray away from those kind of questions, because to me that just plants seeds of, do I have a problem with it? I wasn't.
I got
you. Thought she was cute. She's a cute doctor, like from Mississippi, chocolate baby, So, so sometimes we could be planting issues that aren't even there, and then it's
because
like,
we have the issue. Correct.
Bum bum bum.
I see that.
That's it right there. So that is my invitation to you. So the question is, do you accept the invitation?
Oh, absolutely. I'm a Virgo. We deal with change and getting better always.
Oh, always. Really? I got to talk to my husband about that. My husband is like what? My husband is a routine guy. He would wake up at the same time.
That's it.
The same thing.
Yeah. But because he does that, he doesn't lose anything. He doesn't miss anything. That is a part of our routine. The routine has to do with we're better. We're like, okay. And we decide to incorporate things that work. So he's a Virgo. He's a Virgo.
Okay, so I that is my invitation to you. So what is your takeaway from our time today? Was this helpful for you?
Absolutely. Just be a girl.
I love it. Just be a girl. For those listening, y'all got to watch the YouTube version of this video just to see how she just said, just be a girl.
Just be a girl. Just be a girl.
Love it.
And don't worry about the rest.
That's it. That is it.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, y'all. So that's today's show. Our takeaway is what? Just be a girl.
Just be a girl.
Very simple. Sometimes we take our own preconceived notions into relationships, into situations, and we project them, right? So instead, just see where the chips slide. Just see who this person is and see if that's the person that you want.
Correct.
All right, guys, make sure. Oh, wait, Marian, how can they slide in your DMs just in case? How do they find you on social media?
I am on Facebook, Marian A. Sampson, just my name.
Okay.
I do have a Twitter. No, not Twitter. IG.
Okay.
Dark Skin Girl 50.
Okay. All right.
And I have a Twitter, but I don't even remember what it is. I don't get on Twitter.
Girl, it's all right. So,
yeah.
All right. So on Instagram it's darkskinnedgirl50, and on Facebook it's Marian A. Sampson. So y'all can slide into the DMs. Now, mind you, she's single at the time of this recording, so things might change. So, approach with caution. I'm just And for those of you who don't already follow me, I'm at Inspire Many on IG and Twitter, Coach Cass on Facebook. In the meantime, make sure to share this podcast. Don't keep it to yourself. Until next time, bye.